I thought so. we got some Steelers fans here happy at the back. We got one over here. He doesn't wear a shirt. This is A View from the Bridge, an official podcast of the Belfast Giants for kingdomofthegiants.com. Today is Saturday the 9th of January 2016 and my name is Patrick Smith. Thanks for coming. There's actually an amazing crowd. Absolutely superb. You're not the first person to do that, sis. First of all, I'm going to welcome Mr. David McCools.
There wasn't as many people in my last court here.
Really? Did you get rid of it? We usually have Aaron Kernan here, but he's still at the Linfield Ballymena match. It's gone the extra time, and he says he'll join at some point. But until Aaron arrives, we're going to invite up somebody. Mr. Mark Hitchcock, would you come join us on the stage, please? Ladies and gentlemen, come on, Mark Hitchcock! Are you good, right?
Oh yeah, you're alright.
Are you nervous?
I was in a band once, and we did one gig. I was only remember that big.
It's only your moment,
I'm not used to an audience.
Mark's lost his voice after last night, so this is going to be interesting. Let's start off, Davey. Let's talk about last night. The Giants came out for around 6-7 minutes, probably played a really good game, quite dominant against the Sheffield Steelers. And then, my language is going to be curtailed here. It all
better advised with Hitsy on stage with last night's performance.
Yeah.
A few kids in there, maybe a bit of blue accidentally. But,
yeah, we'll do our best to curtail our language. We apologise for anything that might happen in the meantime. But yes, after around 6-7 minutes, the Steelers sort of got a goal against the run of play, and then it all went to hell in a handcart. True?
yes, last night's performance did leave a lot, I suppose, to be desired. The Giants a bit on the back foot after conceding that first goal, and Steelers were on roughshod over us for about 15 minutes after that. We've obviously left ourselves just too much to claw back into the game, even though I don't even think we ever looked like getting back into the game. There was a couple of periods okay, we came and scored a goal in each of the second and third periods, but for me, after the way we've been playing over sort of the last 10-12 games, where we've got a bit of momentum, a bit of confidence to come out like that, we've had the odd game, Braehead, Manchester off late, where we've been really poor, and last night just has to go down. Hopefully it's one of those really poor games, and we'll maybe kick on again tonight.
Is it just a blip? Because our home form of late, our home form all season long, to be fair, hasn't been as good. I saw us on the road last week against Coventry, and I thought we were absolutely superb. Now you come back into the SSE. I very nearly said the former name of this place, the SSE, and we said it time and time again. Everybody's on Twitter that at home we're not performing as well as we should.
We're 9th out of 10 statistically in home form. Why that is, I don't know. Why we play a slightly different system at home that isn't working clearly, I also don't know, but I'm not the coach. All you can hope for is a better performance tonight. We came in with good contract to the race last week, and that had a lot to do with the people in the stands as well. So everybody has to do their part in it. We really get behind the team tonight. Let's get on top of Pins. Let's get on top of Pins and see if the players have to bring it as well. Let's not make no mistake about that. The fans get behind the players and vice versa, but it has to come first and foremost on the ice tonight.
Well, that's a good reflection of last night, because I think that the atmosphere last night, for the first 10, maybe the first period, was rocking. Everybody was up for the game, and then once you start to lose 2, 3, 4 goals, then that starts to ebb away at you, and you can't get it back in. Tonight, I'll talk about it later. Mark, through your drunken haze last night, you're quite a happy man. Your take on how the game went from a Steelers perspective?
It was great, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't.
I was just going to say that every time you do it.
It's the first fight you've won all weekend. No.
It's like the Three Stooges.
This never happened when Neil was on, I tell you. No, I think last night I didn't predict it. I thought it was going to be 2 very, very tight games. I said that on the podcast. I don't really know what happened to Belfast. I don't think we were. I think we played a really great road game. And I think we were incredible, but we didn't need to be. I think when you look back on the highlights this morning, I was laying in bed with a pint of water watching the highlights, trying to remember what the score was. And there was 3 or 4 goals where I think 2 of our goals, our player was laid on the ice and still tucked it in. Stuff like that shouldn't happen in any day. But yeah, I was really, really impressed with the way we played. And Pins, you know, I think he's great. I've always thought that.
You absolute liar.
He's probably the best goalie in the league right now. And yeah, tonight, if you're going to ask me about tonight, I can't call it. It could be easy to think that after last night we're going to push on. But from what I've seen from the Giants, talking about the Giants this year, is if you score first, you seem to take the game by the scruff of the neck and win it. If you go behind, you do struggle. So fingers crossed for the first goal. Fingers crossed I'm allowed to boomerang corners.
I think last night your attitude and how you were getting on a boomerang corner might have you banned from it. I don't think some of the chants you were coming up with, they're not family friendly.
Certainly not from this decade either.
Davey, back end of the game. Sound the view from the bridge, klaxon. Referees, Dean Smith, our referee last night. Is that Davey's microphone? Okay. Dean Smith was our referee last night. We were trying to get back into the game. Jason Hewitt puts a stick into Chris Higgins' chest. Higgins responds and he gets kicked. Your thoughts?
Often the way in any sport, the retaliatory incident, is the one that takes the penalty. I don't know whether the ref has seen it, because at the same time it's a 6 and 2 threes. Throw them both out, let them both stay, let them sort it out in the ice. Nothing in it. For me, I don't think Smith got it particularly wrong, because he clearly didn't see the first one. Maybe he needs to get more help from his linos.
Says, come join us. Oh, somebody been turned up already. Can you turn down a little bit? Thanks. Says, ladies and gentlemen, it's the remix to Ignition, hot and fresh Simon Kitchen. The birthday boy, come and join us on stage. I watched the highlights back, says.
I wasn't listening to you,
that's fine. I was watching the highlights back this morning. I wasn't with Hitchy. You were. I'll not tell you what he said earlier on, but everybody who follows me on Twitter knows what he said earlier on. Ridiculous. You started off, you could hear the excitement in your voice to begin with, and then that sort of ebbed away. Your reflection on yesterday, please.
It wasn't easy commentating on that game, believe you me. I just thought, you've already said it, we're okay for 78 minutes, and then it's just like somebody switched the light off, and the next thing you know, you're 4-0 down. And Johnny and myself are literally ready to go home. Webcast was about to be just picture and no sound. Some people probably prefer that. But believe you me, it'll be a lot easier. But I thought actually, for the last 20 minutes, I thought we did okay. Andrew Dixon was great. He came in and did a job, and there's a few people saying last night, well, why would you take Murphy out of the net? You're 5-1 down. Sheffield are not going to concede 4 goals in the last period. On a road game, no chance. I think Walter did the right thing, kicked Murphy out of the firing line. He wasn't getting any help at all from anybody. Nobody, it was easy enough to pick the man of the match last night in the last 20 minutes. Easy enough.
How much do we miss Mike Raja? Obviously, not the healthy scratch. Mike Raja's obviously after the weekend, he's got a bit of a drop. But how much, considering how good he's been, he scored 5 goals in his last 3 games, some lovely goals as well. How much do we miss him?
We didn't, because we just couldn't get anything going. It was like, everybody, I would say 95 to 99% of the
Happy birthday!
Oh, come on!
Happy birthday to you! Happy birthday, dear Simon! Happy birthday to you!
45 today, mate. Congratulations.
34. I'm going to tell you.
No, let's get also do with me. Look to the conspiracy corner. Oh, it's health and safety. Another client handles due to health and safety reasons. Lovely.
Yeah, Mike Raja last night, it's straight. as I say, we just couldn't get going last night. Thank you. We just couldn't get going last night, and you know it does make a difference who you had to put on in the end of that first period. It was just absolute bedlam. It was bedlam, but I'll tell you something. There's absolutely no chance of us playing like that tonight again. No chance.
Pity. This season's been very tight. These games are absolutely pivotal. How important is tonight's game for the Giants and the Steelers alike?
Yeah,
I'll let you finish your cake first.
I mean, if you'd have asked me before this weekend, would I have been happy with a split? Yes, but obviously when you win the first game, you want to win the second. So I think if either team would have won it both games in regulation, it's massive. If we'd have lost both here in regulation, we were already a point behind you, but the game played more. So it was really, really important to win last night. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see the response from the Giants, and also be interesting to see if we can build on last night. And I don't want to make a prediction because certainly not one like Simon's. But I think that if you ask the Devils or a Panthers fan who would they want to win tonight, they'll probably say you.
Basically referring to the two gents next to you, not paying the won't try to say a single word you say. Huh? Oh, okay. Go on, Jesse.
Respect me.
That'll be a first.
Yeah, I think the whole league will want Belfast to win tonight, get the split. Big game. I think we're legit.
You look really confident when you said that. Davey.
Yes.
Huh? Tonight, I'm going to say about tonight, how important it is, considering how close the season's been so far and these two teams right up at top.
Well, I think a win tonight would gloss over a lot of the problems from last night. It would put us a point ahead of the Steelers game with one game in hand, with a chance of tying the Devils in the top of the league with their game in hand, where by no means in a bad place. But you can't follow up a bad performance with another bad performance, or if confidence starts to go, and it just tails off very, very quickly. Winning momentum is very important. It's important. Very disappointed, I suppose, for an extent that we waited till right to the end of the game, last 5-10 minutes, before we really started taking the body and getting physical and having fights. I mean, that's the sort of thing. Coach was on to me last night. He nearly dreamed of it.
Who?
TV's needed.
Television's the other Coach Russell.
Was on to me last night. Nearly ruined the battery, giving off.
I know. Sorry, my parents go with this as well, so just give us no value.
Hey, Coach.
Sorry, you're absolutely, he's too busy. Hardest worker man in Alfred.
But, you know, why would it come out best foot forward, foot through, all the things he used to say when he was on the burn time? You know, I had all this last night for an hour and a half and I was just trying to go to sleep.
Honestly, one thing about our good friend Neil Russell is he doesn't sleep. I get messages on WhatsApp at like 2 in the morning from him.
We were on our way home last night from next door.
This is going to go well.
At 20 past 1 in the morning, and she's trying to FaceTime him.
We use any fit state to do that? No. Talk about how close these games are.
There's been nothing between these teams over 2 or 3 seasons. Okay, there has been a few blowout results, but there's not like 7-2 periods last night, 1 each. Disappointing for me that physicality didn't come to right at the very end. I think we're FaceTime Coach here Gates who came off, give the fingers or whatever. But you know, I think we have to come out on the front foot tonight. We have to take the game to Steelers, and we have to come with that pace, that speed that we have. And we're recruiting all the PR through the off season with speed kills. This team has speed, and we do have speed. But we stand still as a team. Last night in the penalty kill, loads of times we're really passive. We're not out. We're letting the Steelers set up in our zone instead of getting at them. Don't let them take our blue zone. We've got to be the aggressors tonight. We've got to go out there with pace.
Since it's already hit a point where we're watching every single game, because tonight we also have, tonight we have Devils against Panthers going on, and that's a big game as well. Have we hit like already in January a point where we're looking right across the league, seeing who can pick up points where on the title? Because usually that sort of thing doesn't happen in February.
No, I mean every game. I think all the coaches in the league have reiterated to any team can beat anybody else in that given night in this league. This year's just for a neutral, which there's nobody in here. For a neutral, it's unbelievable. Sorry, Paddy. You know, it's unbelievable.
It's never going to go away, is it?
They can beat anybody. Can beat anybody in any given league, and that's how exciting this league is this year. But I agree with David. You know, we've got to come out, we've got to fire in about this evening and and I was talking to Derek Walser after the game last night in here, and you know, there's no way it's going to happen tonight. Those guys are going to be coming out flying tonight.
As a quick fan agenda, anybody got any questions? Anything you want to ask? Anything to talk about? Anybody got a hand up? Anything on Periscope?
Joe Neal has.
Joe Neal. Joe, do you come up and join us? Davey referred to him as the heartbeat of Boomerang Corner. Please, please welcome Joe Neal to the stage. Much puppy in you?
Not yet, no. Feeling okay, not as bad as him.
Okay. Your thoughts last night, mate?
You can't say much really that hasn't already been said. I just think that first period, once the ice tilts, it tilts. You know, we have those nights where we're just up against it and 4 quick goals. As you've already said, shave off the first period. It was a 2-2 hockey game. It wasn't our best hockey. It was tight, second, third period. But the sky's definitely not falling for me. For that one.
You guys seem to be having a lot of fun this season at Boomerang Corner. Seems to be going.
Fun is one word, yeah.
How are you enjoying it?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's one of those things. I think sometimes I sort of catch heat for being in the middle of it or being someone in the face of it. It's not like I'm all there's a whole group of people who we see day in, day out. It's fantastic. I mean, it's not a club, it's not a clique. It's a block of seats that Brooksy and yourselves have sort of provided for all the fans. So the more of you guys that come up and help us, or the more of you guys that are in your own seats, I guess, singing and chanting, the better. And we saw it last week in real life. You know, it seemed to kind of rock Stuart and give us that kind of edge towards the end of the corner again. So.
You destroyed Stuart last week. And carrying on on Sunday, we came away with 4 points.
Yeah.
Everything up your sleeve for hints.
That's it. Absolutely any edge that you can get. That's I guess our job as fans.
They can't speak English though, so we
And tonight, up for it tonight?
Yeah, tonight. I mean, I think you can see the guys last night. I mean, I'm not questioning the heart of this team. I'm not questioning that we don't have it in us. You can see towards the end how physical it got and how much the boys care. So out of the traps quickly, physical game, just get stuck into them. I think we'll be okay.
Thanks very much, mate.
Cheers. That was easy. Cheers.
We've had enough for you. Is the voice of the arena is here, Dave McCallum, come join us. You come, yes, please. You hear him usually you hear him above you. Tonight he's up on stage. Please welcome Dave McCallum, everybody.
I'm going to start with another hour. Goodness me.
How are you enjoying the job?
I'm grand. I'm loving this. It's great to see all that criticism every week. You lot, I love it. Especially that 4-on-4 power play last night. Brilliant. Sorry about that.
It's a tough game.
It is a tough game. It's a lot more difficult than it looks. I would say that, to be fair. But yeah, no, it's great. I love it. It's great. I get to come and see all the games. I get to interact with you bunch. I get to do silly things. And I haven't fallen over yet.
There's still time, man.
I'm going to say that tonight, by the way.
There is still time. We're triple up. One of the things I want to talk to you about as well is, of course, you spearheaded the downtown radio thing we did at Manchester. I believe we're going to have that for the game.
I don't think we're allowed to announce that yet.
I don't think we're going to have it for the game.
Yeah.
Alright,
we don't want to ruin Mr. Russell's potential second sellout.
Okay. But it was quite successful from what I think.
It was great, yeah, everyone kind of got on board. And the good news is that when we do it again, the big criticism was it was only on AM. We have found a way to be able to put it online. So it will be online the next time that we do it. That has been sorted, so if and when it may well happen within the next month at the Storm Shelter, not that I would want to move to that, but it will be online the next time we do it. So that's only a good thing. But again, we're only able to do it again because you all listen to it. And thank you for your tweets and your Facebook stuff and all of that. The more of that, the better. Because then I can go to the man who runs the place and go, look, people actually like this and want to listen to it. So let's do more of it. And the more of it on the radio, on social, and all that, the more we can do, the more it promotes the whole sport, not only the away stuff, but here, and it gives you guys access to those games as well that maybe aren't on webcasts for one reason.
Well, that's what it is. That's what's key, is the fact of getting that exposure out there, getting it on the radio, getting it out the people. Obviously, there's no webcast from the Manchester Arena or the Drizzle Dome. So getting that exposure, getting that name out there, getting those commentaries out there is key.
Absolutely, and of course Simon did a great job. I was listening back to it the other day, and yourself as well. So we're hoping to do as much more of that as we can over the coming weeks and months. But it's just when it kind of time allows, when we can do it, we'll do it as much as we can. But we'll do our best to promote it, as and when we're allowed to.
Well, thanks very much for it. We really enjoyed it, and thanks for joining us.
No problem. Can I go back to
You can go back and show. You can go and show.
I'm going to go and learn the rules.
One thing. I'm sick and tired of the noise meter. It's bursting my ears.
Right, it's not my. The noise meter's not me.
No, it's straight for you.
No.
We've got an agreement here. Yeah.
The noise meter's not me. It's me who's upstairs. But I like the noise meter. I like it.
These are your people.
Can we try something this time with the noise meter? Can we not make any noise and see if it still breaks?
Yes.
That's a malicious rumour to be putting around in here now. And it's got a real noise meter.
Thanks for joining us, man.
Right, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dave McCallum, thank you very much. And also, Trent Egler and Lindsay Mustafa. Welcome, Aaron. You got a microphone?
Thank you very much.
And I've asked everybody else, may as well ask you your thoughts last night. So I may as well ask you, go ahead.
Disappointing?
Okay, so moving on.
No, I mean, you've got to give the. I thought we started quite well. The first few minutes we played fairly well. We tested pins a few times. But once the Steelers scored, they just seemed to overrun us for that sort of 10-minute period. And once we were down, I thought it was always going to be difficult to come back. I thought the guys in the last couple of periods fought back quite well, both on the scoreboard and physically, and left a few messages before coming in tonight.
Sorry, I wasn't listening, sorry. As professional as always. You can't hear? You need to put your microphone closer.
Is that close enough?
That's close enough. Then you'll probably get some sort of saliva on the microphone. Maybe like that. But
yeah, so I mean, just as I thought we fought back quite well towards the end of the game last night, especially the last period where we gave a few messages, left a few messages out there, and I think if we come out tonight very hard from the start, I think we have a good chance of beating that Sheffield team.
shall we bring up Belfast Giants legend? He's on the event. Mr. Shane Johnson, could you join us on the stage, please? Ladies and gentlemen, retired number 4 in the Belfast Giants, the man that sunk the London Knights in the 2003 playoff final, Mr. Shane Johnson, and not, as he was once asked by Mark Hitchcock. And I'll tell this story. He was once asked by Mark Hitchcock in the bar in McCools years ago, put his arm around him, and I said, "Mate, I think you're a great player. Why do they call you Killer?" I said, "Oh, I bet you thought you were Todd Kelly." You get that a lot?
I do, yeah. Actually, at Todd's testimonial after the game, Todd's dad came over and put his arm around me and said, "Well, son, here you go there."
How are you enjoying your time sat next to this man doing your commentary?
It's been great. It's a learning experience. It's super good fun. That's not it.
I suppose, Johnny, the last year for you has been very busy with the NCAA. Great success in November. They're hoping to do it all again this November. It's 2016 already. Something you're pretty proud to be involved in.
Hello, Tommy. Yeah, I know the Prevention Corps was a lot of fun to put together. A great experience for everybody around here that was involved with it, the players, the coaches, the people associated with the tournament from America. They all had an amazing time here. It's been nothing but positive response from them. And we're working with the commissioners of the leagues right now to get the next 4 teams for next year.
Without getting too despondent about last night, give last night a quick critique. You've been in the locker room whenever you've been on a run of good form and then he came up against the man defeat. You've got to go again the very next night. Nothing like getting a quick chance to score. What will the guys be thinking about going into tonight?
Yeah, I mean, they know they didn't start out the right way last night. For whatever reason, a couple of bounces didn't go their way. Our heads weren't really in it as a team, and we paid the price. Sheffield's a very good team. If you don't come with your A game against Sheffield, you go down 4-0 in the first period. So, I mean, tonight there'll be, Derek also looked at some of the game film of what they were doing last night, the Giants, and maybe come up with a plan, a better plan for tonight. So I expect a big response from Giants first night.
I'm going to be a bit self-indulgent when I got on the stage. April 2003, the NIC. We beat the Sheffield Steelers in the semi-final. We go into the final.
Yes.
And you score 2 goals.
2, yeah.
And we sink the London Knights. A former team of yours.
They were, yeah.
How did that feel?
It was amazing. I mean, we all knew at that time, particularly, we all knew the league was changing. It was going from the Super League, and we didn't really know what was happening the next year. It became the Elite League, but nobody was really sure. We knew there was going to be a lot of changes. So for a lot of guys from our team and every team that was there was a lot of guys that would be moving on to other places, retiring, going to Europe, back to America. So it was really nice to end. And in a way, it was kind of an ending of careers, or kind of a farewell. So to win that game in Nottingham was amazing.
You talked about the changes then to the Elite League. What was it that actually convinced you to come back to Belfast for the Elite League and the Super League?
My wife.
Yes! We're going to do it again!
Can't argue with that, I suppose, can we?
No, I mean, at that point, there was a few guys, myself, Jason Cole, Colin Ward, there's a few other guys, Rob Stewart, Todd. I mean, we all, not Todd so much, but the rest of us had met local girls here and started to settle down. And yeah, we wanted to stay in Belfast.
Just how much success does the Belfast Giants show for the beautiful women of Belfast? Every year on year, these guys are coming back, they're hooking up with the Belfast women, and they're staying long term.
I don't know what to say. My wife's not here. No, I mean, it is true. I mean, there's a lot of guys now. Curtis Humphrey, George Wada, Rob Stewart, myself. I'm trying to think which one the current Giants are with Belfast or Northern Irish girls, or Josie, Peacock, and Keith. Peaks. You gotta be careful with your girlfriend and wife and yeah, so way to go, girls from Northern Ireland.
I can say I've been a married girl there, so. Anybody got any questions? Going to open the floor. Any questions for Shane Johnson up here? We got a lot of guys up here. You can ask Davey. Nothing? Nothing. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to ask this little lad something. Hello. What's your name? What is your name? And who's your favourite team?
Giants.
And why?
Because they're the best team in the world. Even though they have issues, they're still the best team in the world.
That's fine. He was dying to say something on the microphone right now. Tonight, what are you expecting?
Tonight I would expect, particularly in the first period, the Giants to play a more direct game, get pucks deep. Last night, they were a bit too cute around the blue line. A couple of drop passes to Sheffield players. I think they'll try and be a little bit more direct tonight, get the puck deep into Sheffield and make it more difficult for Sheffield to counter-attack.
Overall, I mean, the Giants have been a fantastic team on the road this year, but at home they seem to have struggled a little bit at times. Is there any reasons you can see for that?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you're playing at home, the onus on you is to be the more attacking team. So teams that travel here, they tend to play, tighter defensively, kind of be a bit more patient and just kind of protect the house, stay around their goalie. Whereas when the Giants playing the road, they're the road team, and the home team over there has the onus to be more attacking, which really suits the way the skill that the Giants have. So I think that's maybe a big reason why they've had success on the road. This team's maybe open up a bit more playing against the Giants. But I mean, there's a lot of really positive things with the Giants for the team this year. The number one power play in the league. It seems to be clicking really well. I think number one road record in the league. I think that's still true. So we just need to improve the home record a little bit, and we're just fine.
Make sure it's
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been great to be in the company of a legend once again. Everybody, he's got to go and read his book of cliches. It's Shane Johnson. Over the last few days, it's been announced that there's a possibility that we're going to get a little bit of fans war, but someone who's championing that cause. Someone who caused a bit of a stir in the last night, perhaps up on the stage. But nonetheless, we're going to get him up for another quick chat. Obviously, trust Supremo Robert Fitzpatrick. Oh no. Definitely not.
Now, in through the nose, out through the mouth. How you doing, miss?
I'm doing very well. Thanks. Great to see so many people here. Well done, folks.
It's wonderful to see so many people out here tonight. Your thoughts on the season so far, man? Now, you're sitting here, I'll tear it in two parts. Belfast Jazz whole organisation, I see you're sitting here in a UMass gold jacket, so you're obviously quite happy in that certain aspect.
Well, I think the organisation continues to go from strength to strength. I think that, and I think it's a credit to the fan base. I think it's a credit to the dedicated people behind the scenes. I think it's a credit to the staff that we continue to be relevant, we continue to be expectant, and we continue to be, I suppose, setting the bar for all the rest of the teams to try and follow. So, to that end, long may that continue. As far as the NCAA was concerned, if we're going to try and set the bar high, well then, getting competitive hockey out of Umaga for the first time is one way to do it. I would argue that we delivered in spades. I would argue that the tournament was a tremendous success.
Yeah, well, I was going to agree with you on the NCAA. Like I saw you that weekend, you looked delighted at the way it was going down, especially when it was announced it was to come back. I thought that was the real part that you were delighted for.
Yeah, well, absolutely that it was come back, because up until that point, the Odyssey Trust has been the main driver behind hockey. Now we have essentially the city, government, significant private sector sponsorship, and the city of Boston behind hockey in Belfast. And that is a major achievement, and a reason why, we're heading to Boston again on the 5th of February to the Bean Pop weekend to announce next year's Friendship 4.
Davey's going as well, apparently.
Davey's going as well.
Davey schmoozed up to a couple of people and got himself an invite, didn't he?
I think there's a senator in South Boston who wants to get to know Davey very well.
Says, just now we're talking briefly about the NCAA. What was your take on the whole weekend?
I was great with the red light. I thought it was magic. You know what? It was unbelievable. The standard of hockey, they're 18, 19, 20 years of age, and they can just absolutely fly, and they go in. They're just like a seriously younger version, maybe a bit bigger than Darrell Lloyd. Every single one. They just don't know second speed. Everything's first speed. And anybody who's lucky enough to be there, it was just unbelievable. And this year, with the teams that, again, nobody knows, but you probably have an idea who it is, and you're probably not going to let it go. Maybe, can you not give us a run?
Because I've used the British exclusive.
No.
It's just spoil sport. But, it does make a difference what teams come over, because it's going to be the same standard of hockey.
Well, I can confirm that the teams that will be coming are all slated in the first top 12, 13 of the nation, and are all Division 1 teams.
Can't do any better now.
Can't do any better than that. That's going to be a top level. Davey? NCAA?
Watch it.
It was brilliant. It was such a weekend, such a lot of fun, and then obviously the Giants game tagged on the Sunday just to round the weekend out. But we were very, very lucky to be involved a little bit behind the scenes.
Where's your jacket?
I'm a Friendship 4 jacket. I wear in bed sometimes as well, it's brilliant. But nothing bad. It was just, as Sid says, the standard of hockey was just second to none. It's some of the best hockey we'll ever get to see in Belfast until next November, because the 4 teams have not been told this secret.
Dead on.
The 4 teams coming next year are obviously going to be ranked in the top 12 teams in the country. It's going to be great, it's going to be exciting, it's going to be fast, hard hitting hockey. Make sure you get your tickets early.
Okay, you sell that well, you need to employ this now.
Well, the boss then.
Robert, one of the things Davey mentioned earlier on in regards to the fans forum, and the initiative, the chance of trying to bring in and that aspect of it, trying to get, trying to take the chance to the next level, trying to get the fans to see what they want. Is that what the issue? Is that what the
Absolutely. Look, it's very simple. There's 15 years of people coming to watch hockey in Belfast now, and with the greatest respects to the off-ice team and the professional team and the off-ice team, there's a lot of people who have a lot of knowledge, a lot of opinion.
There's a lot of opinion.
There is, but here's the thing. I mean, if you're talking about a fans forum as such, where the fans are committed to taking responsibility for owning their part of their side of the deal, well then, rather than in some way, shape or form trying to glean who's serious as a keyboard warrior, or who's trying to be reasonable as a tweeter or whatever the case may be, they can actually say, well, hang on a second, we're a big enough club and we're happy to create a forum where fans can come in and say, yeah, we're doing that right, but that's wrong, fix it. Or, why didn't you think about that? Now, I'm not going to say it's going to be democratic. I'm not going to say it's going to be in any way, shape or form anything other than something that the fans can come in and say, look, listen to us. It's a listening forum. It's an opportunity for the club to say to the fans, listen, we're prepared to sit down with you, we're prepared to take on board anything that you say to us, and we're prepared to enable anything that comes out of that you think adds a value-added proposition to a game night, or a value-added proposition to merchandise, or a value-added proposition to the NCAA, or do we go back and get an NHL team, or do we build a second round? Whatever it is that there's an opinion on, we need to start to find a way to harvest it properly. And if somebody's brave enough to stand up and give their opinion, then we should be humble enough to listen to that and take it on board.
Aaron, you take on the idea of getting fans involved in regards to the fans forum?
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. I remember back to when John Elliott was involved a lot of years back, having a few.
If anybody would remember that, I think Mayfield went straight for John Elliott.
But it's. And I think one of the problems we had there was only 1 or 2 voices were willing to speak up. So I think it's important to take that chance. We've seen over the 15 years that the organisation do listen. I think back to smoking in the arena. I remember people having opinions on that and coming to the organisation and getting smoking lists before it, before it was banned indoors and banned within arenas and so on. So, the organisation at all levels over the years have shown they're willing to listen. So I think it's important to take a chance and get in and put your opinions forward.
Fully agree. Robert, thank you very much for your time. Ladies and gentlemen, Robert Fitzpatrick. And also Mr. Kitchen's going to make his exit. He's got a bit of a commentary to do. The Murphy boys, thanks Simon. Is Shane still here? Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, the all-time top points scorer, the top goal scorer, Belfast Guys himself, former Sheffield Steeler, former Newcastle Viper, Mr. Collinshields, how are you doing?
Good, thanks, Russ.
I'll just start with a little bit last night. I spoke to you at the end of the second period. You said you went into trying to mitigate for what was going on. We were obviously behind the cosh. The locker room was probably a difficult place to be in those period breaks. What was your take on the game?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you go down, that many goals that early in the game, first period, it's kind of disappointing. And going into the third, you're trying to somewhat salvage something from the game, and if you're trying to get an early goal, to try and sort of get yourself back in the game. I think if you get an early goal in a game like that, maybe it gives you a little momentum. And I think when it was maybe 5-1 or 5-2, I can't remember the score. When 5-1 it was, we missed a couple of power play opportunities. Maybe we get a goal there. Maybe the game might turn around. But it was disappointing. It was a big game. It's obviously hard for me because I'm not involved in the game, and you want to be down there with your teammates on the ice and in the battle. So But I'm pretty sure we're going to come out hard tonight. We're going to come out hard and bounce back.
How frustrating is it when you get back in? You're trying to claw your way back into the game today with that second goal. How frustrating is it when the referee calls a 5-minute major when you obviously see what is going on? Let's be fair to Jason Hewitt. He did his job. He did exactly what to do, and Higgins was out of the game for 5. How frustrating is it on the bench when you have to try to deal with a situation like that?
Yeah, sometimes obviously when the score is the way it is, the game's going that way. It seems like nothing you do goes your way, no matter what it is. If it's a shot, if it's a pass, or even it seems like the calls go against you as well. So I'm sure at that point it was frustrating. It seemed like we got a goal, maybe we maybe get another goal, another bounce. You never know what's going to happen in the last 5-10 minutes. But Jason here, I've known him for a long time, played with him, against him, and his job is to get under other guys' skin and and aggravate guys and possibly get guys to take penalties against him. So he did his job, and we reacted. But like I said, when things are going against you, it's not going your way. It seems like everything is.
Let's talk about yourself, Colin, for a minute here. I know it's been a bit of up and down in the last few months with the little niggles you got, and you said you get problems.
Yeah, I was feeling good there when I came back after Christmas, and then just kind of had a little reaction to, for whatever reason, and it was unfortunate. The medical staff decided it was better to take another few games off and hopefully kind of get back to 100%. So hopefully we're looking at maybe next weekend or the weekend after. So it depends how it goes this week in practice, and hopefully get back in there.
And then obviously if you target, well, maybe not targets, but what milestones coming for you, almost like something that's been immensely valuable.
It's stats, yeah. Every time I see Davey, he just tells me some new stat that I didn't know before. So, no, the personal milestones, I spoke about it before. It's great to have those. I think maybe when you retire, you look back on. But right now, I think the biggest thing with the team and with the club is to continue winning and try and build on the championships that we've won so far. And we've had a great record over the last 10 years that I've been here. And those are the things you want to build on, and those are the teams you remember. Some of the years maybe I've had more points or more goals, or but it's the championship teams that you remember, and it's the friends you've made that year and the players you've played with, and the experience you've shared with fans after, and whether it was in here with the trophy or in another establishment in Nottingham with the trophy. Those are the things you remember from seasons, and you want to build on that and hopefully get more of those memories.
And looking, we talked about championships and so on, looking at the league this year, from your point of view, from the players' point of view, I don't think I've ever seen it as tight at the top. How are you looking at the league title?
Yeah, it's crazy. I think the top teams have always been close. I just think now that the bottom teams are sort of, for whatever reason, if it's the import rule, if it's something else, the bottom teams are sort of catching up, and as you can see now, they're taking more points off the top teams. So now when the top teams, split a weekend or split, their 8-game series, it comes down to how many games you're dropping against some of the other teams. So, I think there's not very many years where you've kind of walked a series against the top team, but in the past it seemed almost like a complete shock if you didn't win a game against the bottom 5 teams. So, but I think now you can see some of the teams that have lost to, Edinburgh and Dundee. Dundee's table almost now, so but it's crazy, but it's good for hockey, and it's maybe more frustrating for fans. It's frustrating, when you're not getting wins all the time, but it's a long season, and hopefully you just might be in at the end with a chance. And I think we're in a good position right now with the games we have in hand, and we just got to keep trucking along and hopefully keep putting up some more wins.
A quick, serious league question. As a top level British player, he's actually Scottish. You knew that? Seriously? As a top level British player in this league, obviously the league import levels are going up. Is that a good thing or a bad thing from your perspective?
Robert's over there laughing like, don't say that you shouldn't say. No, I have my opinions on it.
Say what you want to say, man.
I know, but I have my opinions on it, and I'm a British player. So obviously I'm going to say that it's better for British players to have less imports. But as you can see, there's only so many quote-unquote, I shouldn't say this, but good British players or quality British players to go around, and in the past it's always been the top teams that have been the teams to be able to afford the British players, and then that's caused, you can say what you want, but it's caused a big gap between the top and the bottom of the league. And I think now that's possibly why the other teams have maybe caught up. because they were able to have maybe before they only had maybe 1.5, 2 lines of imports, whereas now they have 3 lines of imports, which has allowed them to stay in games. It's allowed them to beat some of the top teams. But personally, I have my opinions on what it's going to do for the British player game in the long run, and I have to keep some of that to myself. But I think it's pretty obvious what's going to happen.
So what do you think it's done to the product? Everybody keeps saying this season's one of the best of the product in regards to the elite league. This is the best season we've seen, the best standard that we've seen it play. Do you feel that on the ice? Do you think that's the case?
Yeah, I mean, you can see there's better players. I mean, there's always been top players come to the league, but you can see now that there's better depth in the teams. Teams have 3 solid lines. Some teams have 4 lines. There's players coming from the NHL, almost some of them directly. There's just quality from the bottom to the top of lineups, and I think it's good. You can see, like I said, even the lower, quote unquote, lower end teams, they're bringing in good players, and you can see there's good players, there's good pace out there, and you see a lot of pretty plays and things like that. So it's exciting hockey, and it's a good thing to be a part of, and hopefully it can continue for another couple of years.
And just to take you off the rack on that one a little bit, and we'll look back towards the end of the game last night, things got a bit feisty. Going into tonight's game, I think most importantly, it's a great chance to bounce back. I think as a player, you must know that you've got a chance within 24 hours with last night wrong. How do you see tonight playing out?
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll probably be a lot tighter game, I think both teams are going to play some solid defense. Sheffield they packed it in pretty well last night. Even when we tried to turn it on, they got all 5 guys back in their zone. It was tough to get to the net. Their goalie saw most of the shots that we were taking, most of them from the outside, or the defense blocked out. I think we'll come out firing a lot hotter tonight. We got to come out right away from the start and kind of maintain that momentum, in the first period and fire a lot of shots at the goalie and just get some more traffic. I think, they maybe only had a couple of tough saves to make last night, and the other ones kind of end up in the net. So hopefully, we'll come out with more fire, and I'm sure we will.
Last question, promise.
Yours has been that question.
No. Former NCAA player for me, fantastic career there. What was your take on the weekend?
Oh, I thought it was fantastic. I mean, it was a great experience, I think, for all the fans to kind of see what, the product that those, I just call them kids, but, those younger players put on the ice, and some of the things that they get to experience day in and day out. They'll never get to have an opportunity to come over and play a game, in Europe. Obviously, the first time the games have been over here. So, I think I was speaking to my friend, he's a strength coach for UMass Lowell. That's another story, but he said I think half their team didn't even have passports leading up to that, so they had to go out and get passports. So like probably half of those guys had never left North America. So it's a great experience and something they'll always remember, and I'm sure people will be looking at the names to see if they ever end up in the elite league.
Did you watch that and think to yourself, I missed that sort of stuff, or I missed playing those games?
No, yeah, I mean, college hockey is great. I mean, it's intense. You're playing with. It's different because in our team or in pro, you're playing with co-workers, whereas there you're playing with other amateur athletes. You're playing with I'm not saying the guys on the team are my friends, but I got a lot of friends on the team and friends now. But you're actually playing with your friends and guys you go to school with, go to class with, and then your fellow athletes, fellow students are watching. So it's a great atmosphere. It's followed, massive following in the States, and I also had my broadcast debut that weekend, in case anyone missed it. But I had a newfound respect for Kitch and Johnny and those guys. These guys do a great job, and I think the first time I was on Premier Sports with Murph on ice there, and he was talking to me, describing the game, and he's like, I know what happened there calling in that goal. And I was just looked at him and I was, number passed it, and then he shot it, and then it went into net. So I don't think I'll be getting a broadcast brief anytime soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, wonderful to have him up on stage. Please give your appreciation to the all-time top goal scorer for Belfast. Thank you. We're going to wrap it up here, boys. Just quickly, expectations tonight. Any step forward.
Just as Bob said earlier there, Paddy, we'll have to come out in front foot, establish that this is our home rink. As we said earlier on, to use one of Robert's pieces, you've got to own your part. We've all got to do our bit and stand to get behind the team. The team have to come out and give us something to get behind as well. What we did in the last 5 minutes last night, we'll have to do in the first 5 minutes tonight. Set our stall out. This is our bar, and you're not going to come in and bully us away again. Home win.
I said to Mark Hitchcock earlier on, I'd like to see Adam Keefe come out and punch Matthew Roy in the face and sort of set the tone for the night. What are you expecting?
I'd rather he come out and punch Derek Prince. I think the first goal tonight is hugely important. I think we need to come out flying for the first and try and get an early goal. I think if we get that early goal, I think we'll go on and win easy.
You heard it here first. My own take is, yes, I agree with you boys. I think that the Giants have to come out, and they have to come out hard and come out fast. They have to basically hit Sheffield as quickly as they possibly can. The same way we started the game last night. The 6-7 minutes, we were absolutely dominant. And then, I'll not use the phrase I used last night, but then we just fell to pieces. So we need to take that intensity and bring it into tonight's game. Because these games are key, and I hope everybody's going to be behind the team, everybody's going to be involved, because these are the games that will decide the championships. These are the games where we'll end up being. No, I'm going to calm myself down. But these are the games where we'll look back if or when we lift the Monteith Bowl. We'll look back and say this was a key weekend. The same as the away weekend that we're going to have in Cardiff, again another key weekend. We have to win tonight. We have to win there. We have to show exactly what we're about, how we're going to play, how we're going to go after this title. And I'm looking forward to tonight's game. And on that note, wonderful crowd. Thank you very, very much for coming out today. Really, really appreciate it. We'll love the podcast